Our smartphones are our everything. They are our cameras, our entertainment devices, and they can be a lifeline in case of emergency. But what if your phone's out of range? For hikers, backcountry skiers, climbers and runners in Canada's Rocky Mountain parks, or folks who routinely work in remote areas, this is a very real problem. So what to do? I'm Erin from techgadgetscanada.com, and one thing you could do is upgrade your communications and get a satellite messenger device like the Spot X here. I'm going to tell you what this device is, how it works, and what you can do with it, and some of what you can't in this review. An early heads up that if you end up liking this video and finding it helpful, to please hit that like button and give me a sub, since it does help me keep making more videos that I hope everyone out there can watch, enjoy, and learn from. And don't forget, you can always catch me on facebook.com/techgadgetscanada if you have questions between videos. So what is Spot X exactly? This handheld device provides two-way satellite messaging when you're off the grid or out of reach of regular, reliable cellular coverage. Connect Spot X to your smartphone via Bluetooth through the Spot X app to access your contacts and communicate easily with friends, family, or directly with search and rescue services in a life-threatening situation. If preferred or when necessary, Spot X can be used as a standalone communication device. Spot X comes with its own dedicated Canadian mobile number. If you're in Canada, if you're in the States, it'll come with an American number, and others can message you directly at that number at any time. The Spot X satellite device lets you send messages but not make phone calls. Despite how this device looks, it does look a little like an old BlackBerry phone. The company's SatFi device will allow you to make calls, but not this version. The Spot X can be used as a tracking device too. We'll get into that. And the device overall is pretty compact, albeit with quite a large antenna. It's got a basic backlit QWERTY keyboard on the front and a small monochromatic display. It is a pretty rugged and fairly lightweight device overall. My loaner device arrived already activated with data usage, so all I was required to do was turn it on, let it connect to the satellite for the first time, which took about 10 minutes, and I was ready to go. You can send and receive SMS or text messages and emails with your Spot X. That means you can check in with family members on your outdoor adventure or use the group message feature to let everyone know how you're doing. Type out your own message or use some of the preset messages that you can create in the device to make it fast and easy to send out a blast. The Spot X here will connect with your smartphone, so you can use your phone to communicate via the satellite connection inside the Spot X. To access it, you need the Spot X app for iPhone or Android. You're going to log in with your username and password, and then you'll need to connect to your Spot, so make sure it is turned on and operating. The app found the Spot X device immediately for me and linked everything together. I could view all the messages on the phone that I could on the Spot X. I did start to get messages about the Spot X needing a firmware update in order for it to work with the app correctly, and you can see the message, it's right there on my phone again. But there appeared to be no way to actually update the firmware either on the device or on my phone. Now, I could look at the firmware settings both on the Spot X and on the app on my phone here, but couldn't see how to update them. So that was a bit frustrating because it doesn't really walk you through it. Now, even so, the messaging still seemed to work just fine, both using the app and the Spot X device. But my tip to you is to turn everything on, the device and your phone and the app, and test it before you head out to the backwoods, because the last thing you want to have is a connection broken by out-of-date firmware. Now, I later learned that the Spot X needs to be connected to a computer to fulfill that firmware update. I've posted full instructions on how to do it on the blog at techgadgetscanada.com. In some of my reading about the Spot X, it says you can post updates to your social feeds, but on my own, I couldn't figure out how. After some more reading, I realized this is also something you need to do at home on a computer before you leave. Once your social accounts are set up, they essentially become contacts in the device that you just send a message to, and then it will repost it onto your social media account of choice. Because the Spot X is pulling down satellite signals, you get the best results with it outdoors and with the antenna pointed straight at the sky. If you don't do this, you'll get reminder messages. Because it is always looking for the sky, using the Spot X indoors isn't likely to work very well. I brought this device along to the giant indoor consumer tech show in Las Vegas in January, hoping I could use it to better my connectivity thanks to busy networks and shoddy Wi-Fi on the show floor. But more often than not, the device just gave me a message that I should be pointing it upwards and in a clear space out in the sky. So I guess it was constantly just looking for those satellites and needed to find a signal. So if you're hoping this might be an indoor Wi-Fi booster, it is not really. That's not, though, what it's intended for. Spot X is designed for people like hunters, travelers, and others whose forays into the off-grid world mean they're often out of reach. There are several navigation helpers with the Spot X. You can use the built-in compass for direction, though it does need to be calibrated first, so do that before you go. You can also get detailed latitude and longitude information. There's also tracking. You can add waypoints and load trip information, including your ultimate destination, into the device for tracking purposes. Spot X will also calculate your speed, heading, distance, and elevation. You can choose whether to send tracking updates every 2.5, 5, 10, 30, or 60 minutes. It will even build a map for you so you can view your progress or others can see where you are. There's also a check-in function where you can just hit the check-in button and Spot X will automatically register your current location. You can put together a list of people that need to get notified when you check in, and they'll get an automatic email or text message when you do. If you really get into a jam, there is a small SOS button on the device here, housed under a small door to prevent accidental activation. Push it and a message will go out automatically to search and rescue services, and it'll let them know your exact position. From there, you can message about what's going on. As my Spot X was fully active, I definitely did not test this feature out, so I am trusting it works as advertised. Spot X's website says the messages go to the GEOS International Emergency Response Coordination Center, where you can communicate about the nature of any emergency you might be having, transmit those GPS coordinates, and receive confirmation that help is on the way. Spot X says the rechargeable battery on the device will last an astonishing 240 hours. While I never fully exhausted the battery, I can say it stayed full for weeks while turned off, and then when I left it on, it ran for about 6 days and the battery level never budged from showing about 3 of 4 bars of battery level. So that's pretty impressive. By the time I did shut it down to send it back, it was still almost full. In its real-world applications, you should get about 10 days of battery life in continuous 10-minute interval tracking mode. Recharge it using the micro USB connector and a power bank or a solar power set if you're not near a plug. One thing I did notice is that the lowest temperature Spot X says it can function in isn't all that low for a Canadian winter. Spot X says the operating temperature range is about -20 Celsius to about +60 Celsius. Now in Calgary, we routinely get to -35 Celsius in the dregs of winter. So in some situations, this means the Spot X may not function due to the cold. Could you keep it with you on an inside coat pocket and maybe have it stay warm enough to get you help in the event of an emergency? Perhaps, but either way, you've been warned. Where will Spot X work? The device has near universal coverage right across the globe. The Spot X is a cool device for outdoor and off-grid types. I'm thinking skiers, campers, and hunters, and of course those remote workers. The Spot X is available from some outdoor retailers in Canada, and it sells for about $349 Canadian dollars, with month-to-month flex plans starting at about $15 US per month. There's actually about 6 different usage packages, so for more information on the Spot X, you can visit findmespot.ca. If you want to read more about this device, head over to techgadgetscanada.com, where I've posted a full blog. You can ask me any questions you have about it, either there on the blog or, as always, here on the YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it and found it helpful, please hit that like button and give me a sub, since it does help me keep making more videos I hope everyone out there can watch, enjoy, and learn from. Until the next time, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm at Erin LYYC. You can also always catch me at facebook.com/techgadgetscanada.